What's up, decoders? Welcome back to the channel. This is Decoding with Cody, and today is February 22nd, 2026. And this is a live stream with a live stream chat. Make sure everyone in the chat can guys give me that thumbs up. Make sure you guys can hear me. I'm starting a bit early because I just wanted to get this started. But I'll wait for the thumbs up in the live stream, and then I'll get pretty quickly into it because I got a lot I want to talk about and I don't want to go so long. So thank you, Coffee Girl, for that thumbs up. Appreciate you so much. Hello to Susan, who's in the chat. Geocentric, also in the chat. What's up? Wildflower, what's up? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for those thumbs ups, everyone. Appreciate you. Anyway, today was a well, the last couple days have been not like any big things going on, really, but the gold medal game in the Olympics is what we're going to talk about today. Also, the attack or the intruder at Mar-a-Lago. We're going to cover these things and show how they're all tied into a theme that we've been talking about, that I've been talking about on the channel for a while now. So there's a few different things we're going to cover, but then it's not going to be a whole long live stream, hopefully no longer than 50 minutes. So hope you guys are all well. We'll give it one more minute and then we'll get into the info. But let me take myself off the screen here. All right. So let me know. You guys should be able to see the screen. Is the screen coming through for you guys on this end? I'm having a bit of a weird shot here. Yes, and Apache Ghost says nothing big going on. Just some dude got taken out at Trump's Mar-a-Lago. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a whole lot on that because they haven't even released the name or anything like that. On the live stream here, we will look into. I haven't looked into the connection yet, even with the Mar-a-Lago raid. But definitely not a coincidence that this happens today on George Washington's birthday. So yeah, there's a lot to talk about. Really, there's a lot of different ways we could take this decode, really, as usual. But if you guys have been watching Zach Hubbard lately, I mean, again, shout out to him for introducing me to this knowledge. He's been on me about doing better decodes and not doing goofy decodes, is what he called them. So we're going to try not to do a goofy decode here, and we're going to try to focus on what Zach likes to focus on. So just to not to be, I'm not trying to be sarcastic or anything or to be condescending. I'm just trying to show that I can still decode the basic things, and we're also gonna dive a little bit deeper as well, of course. But hopefully you guys enjoy the decode. We got 61 in the chat, 70 in the chat now. So thank you to all the people who showed up. Let's get into it, though. Let me get the screen up here. So here we go. We've got. Let me just bring up the first slide so you guys can see what I'm pointing out here. So the two events that happened today, 222, right? So if you guys remember Joseph Aquaviva, 222, he no longer does videos, but his big number was that 222, right? And today is that's very special number, right? 222. And of course, that day today is the supposed birthday. Of course, the original birthday of George Washington was 211, which is the Vatican's birthday. So the Vatican, obviously in Italy, right? I mean, it's in Vatican City, but it's in the country of Italy. And George Washington's original birthday was actually 211, February 11th. And, you know, the Vatican City was founded on February 11th. So we have today in the news, Mar-a-Lago Secret Service shoot armed man at Trump's Mar-a-Lago. Now, Mar-a-Lago, of course, we had Mar-a-Lago actually equals 888 in gematria, like Donald J. Trump. But we'll talk more about Mar-a-Lago towards the end. But right now, we're just going to tie in these things. Yeah, I just saw that there was something going on with the cartel in Mexico. I mean, guys, I don't have anything prepared on that. That's too recent. I have no idea what to say on that. But we will, maybe we'll look at that if we have time. But the point is, today is George Washington's birthday, his 294th birthday. And so we get this Secret Service shooting, right? And we also have the United States men's hockey team winning gold medal over Canada for the first time in 46 years. Guys, what are the odds that on George Washington's birthday, the first president, the United States wins gold medals? And just so you guys know, the last time the United States won gold medal, the hockey team, was on George Washington's birthday. So they've done it twice on George Washington's birthday. I mean, what are the odds of that? Just on the first president's birthday, the team from the United States wins gold medal exactly 46 years apart. That's what we're going to talk about. But this all connects to currency and money and gold. And, of course, gold, silver, and bronze are the medals handed out at the Olympics. And those are all currencies or types of metals that are bought and sold. And, you guys know what I mean. But the point I want to make here is that the Secret Service, and thank you to Derek from Gematrinator 85, where the guy who created the calculator, he let me know this. The United States Secret Service, one of the nation's oldest federal investigative law enforcement agencies, was founded in 1865 as a branch of the U.S. Treasury Department. It was originally created to counterfeiting U.S. currency. So, guys, I don't know how many of you knew this, but again, the Secret Service was originally created to combat counterfeiting of U.S. currency. Interesting. Gold, money, currency, water. Mar-a-Lago is water. Mar-a-Lago is located on the water, pretty much. Mar means ocean or sea. We got currency. We got liquidity. Again, currency. This is why you get a Secret Service shooting on today. And I'm going to show you how it ties into the currency, the cryptocurrency, the gold currency, right? The golden age that Trump has promised. But it all happens on the first president's birthday. Please hit those like buttons, guys. We got 116 people and 38 likes. So hopefully you guys, again, what I'm going to show you here is it's a history lesson. And if you guys like to learn, I hope you guys like to learn. I learn every day with you. So hopefully this is enough info to really see how things kind of go together. But here's the big number. Guys, the number at the name of my channel is Decoding with Cody 589. Okay, and why did I choose 589? Okay. Well, when I first started getting into decoding, I was into the cryptocurrency XRP. And you guys know, most of you guys know, I've talked about this, but the currency XRP has a bunch of riddles connected to it. Okay, currency. And one of the numbers that they say that's connected to this currency, and it's 589, okay? 589 is the number connected with the currency. But this actually goes deeper because Donald Trump in gematria equals 589. So again, shout out to Derek from Gematrinator, but check this out, guys. Today's Secret Service incident at Mar-a-Lago just happens to come 589 days after the Secret Service incident where Trump was struck in the ear on that infamous day where we don't really even know if he was struck in the ear or not. We'll put quotations around that. But 7/13/2024 to today, 589 days, that big number that I connect all the time with XRP and Donald Trump. And now we get a raid at Mar-a-Lago, and the Secret Service is once again involved. And when I did my original decode on the Secret Service and the shooting of Donald Trump, I talked about how it was all connected to the golden ratio and the golden sneakers that Trump had just recently come out with right before that shooting. The golden sneakers, right? Golden age. And now 589 days. I mean, this should be mind-blowing to the people that have watched my channel for any length of time, because this number has been so big in so many ways, right? I believe Trump was, hold on, let me check the age of the United States on the day of Trump's shooting. If you go the age of the United States of America on the shooting of Donald Trump, check this out. The United States was 90,589 days old on the shooting of Donald Trump. Okay, you guys see it? 90,589. All right, that's on the shooting of Trump. Here we are, 589 days later, and Donald Trump equals 589, right? Here we are, 589 days later, and the United States wins the gold medal as Mar-a-Lago and the Secret Service take out a person who trespassed on Donald Trump's property at Mar-a-Lago. Again, ask yourselves, what are the odds? How many times have I talked about this number? And it's not just Donald Trump that equals 589. I want you guys to keep your eye on the Latin cipher here. Declaration of Independence equals 589. Okay, so Donald Trump, 589. Declaration of Independence, 589. The United States, the Declaration of Independence was 90,589 days on the Trump shooting, supposedly. And now here we are, 589 days later. And Trump, his Secret Service is once again in the news. And the Secret Service was originally created to combat counterfeiting U.S. currency. This is telling you the secret here. It's all about the monetary system and the financial system. In 1901, following the ASS of William McKinley in Buffalo, the Secret Service was first tasked with second missions, the protection of the president. Today, the Secret Service mission is twofold: to protect the president, the vice president, and others, and investigations into crimes against the financial infrastructure of the United States. Guys, to this day, the Secret Service is still in charge of investigating crimes into the financial infrastructure of the United States. And again, it all goes back to the currency, guys, the financial system. This is the year, I believe, the financial system is going to be rehauled. Maybe it's this year or next year, I don't know. But again, this is a riddle going with that, okay? This is why the cryptocurrency, Ripple XRP, has been associated with the number 589, which is the number of Donald Trump, which is the number of the Declaration of Independence, all right? Now, 5 times 8 times 9 equals 360, which is like coming full circle. That's another thing to think about. Okay, with that out of the way, we got the big 589 out of the way. Now let's look at how crazy this is, how undeniable this is. So the men's hockey team, and think about the ice stuff that's been going on this year, ice hockey, all the ice stuff in the Olympics. Think about that, okay? But the Olympic team of the men's ice hockey Olympic team has only now won 3 gold medals in their history, okay? The last time that the men's hockey team won an Olympic gold medal was the very famous event called the Miracle on Ice. And when did the U.S. men's hockey team win the Miracle on Ice? They won it on February 22nd, 1980. And you're telling me that exactly 46 years later, once again on George Washington's birthday, the United States ice hockey team has once again won its gold medal. Now check this out. Everyone in the chat should be hitting the like button just for this. I mean, how could you not hit the like button just for this? I mean, I'm not trying to be condescending. I'm not trying to be like I'm amazing here, but this isn't even about me. This information anyone could share. I'm just showing you how improbable this is. You're telling me that exactly 46 years to the day, the United States hockey team wins a gold medal. And in gematria, gold medal equals 46. Now, I know this isn't spelled like the medal, right? Like the medal they win, but it's gold, the medal. Do you guys get it? Like the medal gold. 46 years. Now, what also equals 46? Okay, what also equals 46 is win. Okay, what did they do? They win. They won. In gematria, win equals 46. Now, also, if you type in, so today is the Olympics in Italy, okay, where the Vatican City is located. Now, the United States just won, all right, and I didn't steal anything, King Nico. Get out of my chat. 1260 is not your decode. I didn't. Did you decode, King Nico? I don't even watch your channel, first of all, and you keep getting mad at Derek and me for nothing. Okay, but what I gotta say is, I never went into. I don't watch your videos, and I certainly didn't tell 1260. Anyone could type in a word in the calculator and come up with 1260. I didn't talk about any of the words that you talk about equaling 1260. In the last decode, I talked about 1260 being from Queen Elizabeth's death to the incident. Did you talk about Queen Elizabeth when you talked about 1260? No, I've never seen you talk about Queen Elizabeth. So anyone go over to Nico's chat and see how I stole a decode. How did I steal a decode? I've never seen King Nico talk about Queen Elizabeth dying 1260 days before her son was arrested. That's not stealing a decode. And that's proven. You can go look at your videos and look at my videos. Just because other things that you type in your calculator equals 1260 doesn't mean that I stole your decode just because I used the number 1260. You don't have the publishing rights of the number 1260. Everyone has the same calculator and can type in the same words and can come out with the same digits, okay? Just because I use 1260 doesn't mean I stole your decodes, okay? That's all I'm going to say. No, I don't watch your decodes because all you do is type in words and match a bunch of random things together. That's not a decode. This is a decode. 46 years to the day, they win gold medal. Yeah, but you didn't decode Queen Elizabeth dying 1260 days before her son was arrested. You didn't do that decode. That's the decode I did. I didn't steal your decode. So, and I've talked about these things before. I don't go over and watch anyone. You know how much time I have to watch other people's decodes? Not much. You know how long it takes me to build these slides and find all my information? No, you don't prove anything. When you say people steal your decodes, I've watched your videos where you say people steal your decodes. And not one time have I talked about any of the stuff that you talk about. You talk about other things. I don't talk about the things you talk about. Just because I talk about the same number that you talk about doesn't mean I steal your decode. Anyway, 46 years to the day. We're talking about gold, the metal, right? 46. The word win equals 46. Catholic, 46, okay? 46, right? Vatican City, 46. Now, I told you in the beginning about Ripple XRP. And the connection, well, ripple XRP equals 46. If you type out the number 46, it equals 46. Actually, the team that won today, the United States, they won the game in overtime, which equals 46. Now, this is perfect because the current pope, who's the first American pope, kind of like the United States just won the gold, he is now residing in Italy. So the U.S. won gold in Italy, where the new American pope is from. And the new American pope is from Chicago. And of course, Chicago equals 46. So again, what are the odds? 46 years to the day. And again, this is on George Washington's birthday. Like, what are the odds that the United States men's hockey team has won gold on 2 of George Washington's birthdays? The 248th birthday of George Washington and the 294th. But check this out. So from the original, this is why Mar-a-Lago is connected to the Miracle on Ice and the hockey team. Look at this. So look at this. So on February 22nd, 1980, the Miracle on Ice occurred, which equals 305 in standard gematria. Shout out to Derek from Gematrinator. He found this. Again, I always give shout outs. When somebody else showed me something, I always give shout outs. If it's a specific connection, I don't just shout out somebody because they've done a decode on another number. Just because you've typed in 1260 in a calculator doesn't mean I shout you out every time you typed in 1260. But in this case, Derek, he found that if you go from the original ice hockey, okay, on the Miracle on Ice, and you go 305 days later, look at what happened, guys. Mar-a-Lago, just had an incident today at Mar-a-Lago. And in the year 1980, the year that the men's hockey team won the last gold medal, 305 days before or after that gold medal was Mar-a-Lago was added to the NRHP on December 23rd, 1980. Are you joking me? So why is it that somehow on the same day that the United States wins gold medal again, that Mar-a-Lago is in the news, just like in 1980 when it connected perfectly with the Miracle on Ice, 305 days. And Miracle on Ice equals 305, guys. What are the odds? Again, shout out to Derek. But look, what else happened on December 23rd in history, the same day that Mar-a-Lago was added to the NRHP? The Federal Reserve was founded. Yes, you got that right, guys. The money system, the Federal Reserve, was also founded on 12/23. Okay, so that means the Miracle on Ice occurred 305 days before the Federal Reserve's birthday and 305 days before Mar-a-Lago was added to the NRHP. So, I mean, wow. I mean, just this is like, are you coding me? Like, kind of, I should quote that, right? But again, we're talking about how this connects to America, right? We just got the first American Pope. This happened on George Washington's birthday. The new Pope was elected from the United States on May 8th, 2025. If you go to today, it just happens to be 9 months and 14 days after Leo was selected as Pope. Well, what's so significant about 9/14? Well, it just so happens that the guy is born on 9/14. So that means the U.S. won their gold medal 9 months and 14 days after the first American Pope was elected, whose birthday was 9/14. I mean, how perfect. But it gets even better. The U.S. gold hockey team, the U.S. hockey team won gold, and Mar-a-Lago had an incident on the day that leaves 312 days in the year, February 22nd, the day with 312 days in the year. And why is that so important to America? Well, the new American Pope is from Chicago, and Chicago is the 312. On top of that, the current president of the United States, Donald Trump, got 312 votes to win the most recent election. And now the United States wins gold on the 312 days left in the year to go with their new pope, who's from the 312, and to go with the president who was elected with 312 votes. I mean, again, how perfect is that? So again, this 312 number is like all about this Trump vote and this pope, right? It's all about that. That's why it happened today, the day with 312 days. But again, I told you this is all about the wealth system, the money system, the gold currency. Remember, the Secret Service was originally created to stop counterfeiting of U.S. currency. Okay, and the Secret Service was in the news today for the Mar-a-Lago. So the U.S. won gold 1 year. Check this out: 1 year and 34 days after the new term of President Donald Trump. 1 year and 34 days. Why is that so mind-blowing? Well, this is a number I've talked about so many times when it comes to plutocracy and wealth. But check this out. So the United States wins gold 1 year and 34 days after Trump takes office again. And what's Trump's phrase? Make America great again. 134. The word plutocracy equals 134. What is the plutocracy? The plutocracy is a system ruled by the wealthy. Wealth, Pluto, the god of underground wealth, like gold, silver, okay? But check out how wealth equals 1034. Okay, wealth equals 1034. Now, I want you guys to see how this connects to Ripple XRP. In the beginning of the decode, I laid out how Ripple XRP is connected with the 589. Check this out, guys. Ripple XRP, 134. Ripple XRP, 1034. So Ripple XRP has a double 134 in ordinal and standard. Now, again, let's go back to my slide. Wealth, 1034. Plutocracy, 134. Make America Great Again, 134. What else? There's other 134s that I can't think of right now, but check this out. The guy who scored the game-winning goal, Jack Hughes, he scored the golden goal, right? U.S. hockey wins 1 year and 34 days after Trump returns to office. Make America Great Again, 134. The guy who scores the game-winning goal is born on the 134th day of the year, and that's Israel's birthday. I'm going to talk about Israel in a minute, but what are the odds, guys? Trump has kind of been talked about as being the savior of Israel, but the guy who scores the game-winning goal, Jack Hughes, born on the 134th day of the year. I mean, what's the odds? Again, what's the odds? Not only that, it wasn't just 1 year and 34 days. It was exactly 57 weeks after Trump returned to office. And look at this, golden 57. You can see here on this front poster thing, they said golden, right? Golden age, right? 57 weeks exactly. Golden equals 57. Now, here's where we get into the craziness here, because I just told you the game-winning goal was scored by Jack Hughes, which equals 462 in standard. Now, the original game-winning goal from back in 1980, shout out to Derek for reminding me of this as well, was scored by Michael Eruzione. Kind of sounds like an Italian name, doesn't it? Kind of like the Olympics this year is in Italy. Look how many days and years are in between the birth of the guy who scored the game-winning goal in 1980 and the guy who scored the game-winning goal this year. 46 years and 200 days. 462. Like the name of the guy who just scored the game-winning goal, Jack Hughes, 462. Now check how many days are in between Mike Eruzione, who scored the goal in 1980, to the birth of our current Pope from America, who's currently residing in Italy. 46 weeks and 2 days. Now, how does this all connect? Because in gematria, the word Judaism equals 462. And what do you know, guys? Jack Hughes, the game-winning goal scorer, is Jewish. He had his bar mitzvah and grew up celebrating the Passover. Are you coding me, guys? This is improbable. The Pope, born 46 weeks and 2 days after Micah Ruzioni, the guy who just scored the game-winning goal, born 46 years and 200 days after Micah Ruzioni, again, the Italian guy, right? And Judaism, 462, Jack Hughes, 462. Jack Hughes is a Jew, is Jewish. So, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean, though? Well, let's go over to Jack Hughes again. Let me just read to you his personal life. He was born in Florida, folks. Now, how does that connect to our theme tonight? Well, what happened in Florida today? There was a shooting at Lago. That's in Florida, right? But check out what it says about Jack Hughes. His mother was Jewish and his father is Catholic. So what did I just connect? I just connected the Italian winner of the 1980 hockey game, the Miracle on Ice, with the Catholic Pope and the Jewish player who just won for the United States on Italian soil. Again, 462. Also, another word that equals 462 that I don't want to say. If you check this out, look at this. Another word that equals 462 is this word. And I don't really want to say it because I don't want to get my channel taken down or anything, but look at that. Huh. So that word also equals 462. I already showed you the other one. But notice how this word equals 112, right? 112. Kind of like Judaism equals 112. So what's going up with the 112s? We're going to talk about the 112s in a little bit here. We got a few more slides left. But again, not only is Jack Hughes Jewish, he's born on Israel's birthday, folks. He's born exactly 53 years after Israel was founded. And why is that so significant? Right? Because Jack Hughes, who was born on Israel's 53rd birthday, just won gold medal for the United States on the 53rd day of the year. Today is the 53rd day of the year. He wins gold, and he's born on the 53rd anniversary of Israel. I mean, what the heck? But here's where it gets pretty deep, right? I told you the number 112, Judaism 112, the Z word 112, right? So there was 2 goal scorers in the hockey game for the United States today. And it just happens that these 2 goal scorers are born 1 month, 1 week, and 2 days apart. 1-1-2. And the first guy who scored, his name is Matt Boldy. And Matt Boldy equals 1-1-2. Now, the Jesuits operate in 112 nations. Catholicism equals 112. Judaism, 112. And the Federal Reserve, which I already talked about. Remember how I told you the Federal Reserve was founded on the same day that Mar-a-Lago was added to the registry? Check this out. Right now, the Federal Reserve is 112 years old. Again, kind of like the 2 people who scored a goal for the United States in the hockey game are born 1 month, 1 week, and 2 days apart. And they're both born in 2001, guys. Both of the goal scorers for today's game for the U.S. are born in 2001. That's pretty ominous, isn't it? Because what happened in 2001? Yeah, the attack on 9/11. So you're telling me that both goal scorers are born in 2001? But again, The guy's name, Matt Boldy, the first goal scorer, he equals 112. But it's even better because today was 112 days before Donald Trump's birthday. So do you see how important this number is? 112 days before Trump's birthday, the two goal scorers born 112 apart, the goal scorer's name equals 112, Catholicism 112, mathematics equals 112, the Jesuits operate in 112 nations, Judaism 112, the Federal Reserve is 112 years old. Okay? So I don't know if I'm gonna. I kind of want to go back one day. So let me just go through this quickly and show you how this is connected. So yesterday, before today, right, we had two events in the news connected to this same theme. We had a guy from Purdue, and think about how Purdue wears the golden helmets. Okay. And there was a football player from Purdue who supposedly, got rid of himself, to say it nicely, right? And, well, now the same day you had the death of Willie Colon. Now, Willie Colon is a famous salsa, one of the legendary salsa pioneers. So both of these guys died yesterday, just a day before all this happened, right? And notice how this is connected once again to the popes. Notice how this guy died by the S word. The S word equals 70, 34, 119, and 47. Kind of like the last pope's name was Francis, which equals 70, 34, 119, and 47. He was at the Vatican, which equals 70, 119, and 47. Well, yesterday was the 52nd day of the year, kind of like Pope equals 52. This guy died in Indiana, which equals 52. And the other guy who died was a salsa pioneer, and salsa equals 52. Also, Rondell Moore died at 25 years old, like Pope equals 25. But check this out. Rondell Moore died 307 days after Pope Francis. Well, in Gematria, Rondell Deshaun Moore equals 307, which is the amount of days he died after Pope Francis. 307 is the 63rd prime number, and if you just use Rondell Moore's first and last name, it equals 63 and 2 ciphers. I'm just going to go through this fast. Rondell Moore died on the day with 313 days in the year, and Pope Francis was elected on 313. But check this out. Pope Leo, just like today, Pope Leo is 9 months and 14 days after he became Pope. Well, yesterday was also a span of 9 months and 14 days after he became Pope on 5/8, which means it was also 5 months and 8 days after his birthday on 9/14. And Rondell Moore, who died yesterday, supposedly, died 257 days after his birthday. Well, Pope Leo's birthday is 9/14, which is the 257th day of the year. You see how this stuff is so perfect, guys? Doesn't matter how you look at it. Yesterday's date was perfectly aligned with the Pope's becoming Pope on 5/8, 9 months and 14 days later, like his birthday, right? And then also from his birthday to yesterday was 5 months and 8 days later, which is the day he became Pope. And then Rondell Moore dies 257 days after his birthday, which is Pope Leo's birthday, the 257th day of the year. Again, perfect. And think about how he's a cardinal. He's wearing a Cardinals jersey here. Pope Leo, of course, connected to the Cardinals of the Catholic Church. Pope Leo was born on 14/09. In most countries in Europe, they would write this 1409 or 14/9. Well, where did Rondell Moore, the cardinal, die? He died in New Albany, which equals 1409. And if you type in New Albany, Indiana, in Ordinal, it equals 149. The same day, the salsa legend Willie Colon, that's how CNN called him, salsa legend Willie Colon, equals 1409 in the same cipher as New Albany. Now, Willie Colon's last name is Roman, which this is why I believe this is connected, because Willie Colon, his last name is literally Roman, right? Roman Catholic Church, Cardinal, New Albany. Albany actually comes from the Scottish Gaelic word for Scotland. I'm not going to get into that here, but it's all connected to the Scottish stuff and the King James stuff that I talked about prior, but we're going to leave that for another time. But check this out. If you go from Pope Francis, his last birthday, if he was still alive, 12/17/25, to the death of More and Cologne, it was 66 days. Well, in Bacon's simple gematria, Vatican equals 66. The last name More equals 66. And the first name of Willie Cologne, Willie equals 66. And not only did he die 66 days after Pope Francis's birthday, Willie Cologne died 66 days before his own birthday. Like Willie equals 66. But what makes this even more crazy is if you go from the birth of the two guys who died yesterday, Willie Cologne to Rondell Moore, it's 50 years, 1 month, 1 week, and 6 days. If you break that number down, it's 50,116. Well, that just happens to be the 66 tetrahedral number. Are you kidding me? These guys are born, if you break it down, they're born the 66 tetrahedral number days apart or time span apart. And again, they died 66 days before Willie Cologne's birthday and 66 days after Pope Francis' birthday. And again, More equals 66, Willie 66, Vatican 66. Anyway, let's go back. That's all the slides I have. I just wanted to cover those stories from yesterday. Yeah, and we just had Prince Andrew get arrested on his 66th birthday. Charles equals 66. I believe this is also connected to King Charles. Remember, Charles has that 66. Anyway, that's not the point here. The point is that what I started, let's just go back to the main point, right? Mar-a-Lago gets an incident today on the United States winning gold medal for the first time in 46 years. Today is 589 days after Trump was shot. And again, just to say, I mean, again, I'm not gonna be like Zach and throw stuff at him and call him names and say he's a bad decoder. I'm gonna try to, I was very tempted, guys, to be mean and to just fight back against it. But all I want to do is just show people that everything is connected. And yesterday in my last stream, or 2 days ago in my last stream, I was talking about how the William code has been all over the place ever since the Super Bowl and the connection to Prince William. All these Williams have been dying, right? We had all these Williams. And yesterday we just had another William die. And his name is William Cologne, right? So if you guys think I'm doing goofy decodes because I'm connecting the name William, I don't see how that's goofy, because the name William has been coming up over and over and over again, right? And again, I'm not going to go too much over it, but again, the guy who died yesterday, his name was William, okay? The guy who just died a few days ago, his middle name was William. I mean, I know that William is a common name, but when you have people dying every day with the name William, that's not very common, okay? What's the odds of that? That the people who keep dying the last 2 weeks, they all have William in their name. Who was the other guy that died last week? There was another guy named William that died. I can't even keep them all straight at this point. And no, somebody in the chat saying that it's 45 years. Well, how is it not 46 years? Tell me how it's possible that this is not 46 years. From the United States winning gold medal in the Miracle on Ice in 1980 to today is 46 years, unless I'm just completely messed up. Yeah, there's no way that this is not 46 years. They won the gold medal on 2/22/1980, and they did again this year on 2/22/1980. I also want you guys to notice today has 70 date numerology, kind of like Vatican equals 70, Francis equals 70. I believe there was some other 70s I'm forgetting here. I can't remember, but and just to remember, I kind of used a little bit of a cheat. I used a little bit of a cheat. I'll give it on that one. That when you type in the gold metal, it equals 46. It's been 46 years, right? But when you type in gold metal, how they spell it like this, it equals 7337. That's interesting because I'm looking at the date 3/7 coming up. I think 3/7 is a big date coming. Okay. Yeah, I guess I get what you mean. They didn't since the upset, I should say, it hasn't been exactly 46 years. Tomorrow, or wait, 2 days later it will be 46 years, okay? So I guess that part of my decode, you can laugh at me if you want, or you can say it's a goofy decode, whatever, but 46 years, pretty much 46 years later, right? So from the miracle on ice, that's what we're talking about. Now, I want you guys to notice that gold medal equals 141. Well, it is interesting because if you look at the gold medal game, let me see if I can just pull up the I'm just trying to pull up the box score. But thank you for correcting me on that part that it wasn't the gold medal game was 2 days later. So technically it's not what I said, but again, I got to be willing to admit I was misspeaking, right? Now I'm trying to find out when Matt Goldie scored his goal, or the guy who scored the goal. Yeah, look at this. So Jack Hughes scored the game-winning golden goal at 141 into the overtime. Again, I told you overtime equals 46. It's been pretty much 46 years since they won gold. 141. What are the odds? Because what's another number I've been talking about a lot? I've been talking a lot about 141. And look at the gematria of gold medal. They won the gold medal, which equals 141, after they scored a goal at 1 minute and 41 seconds into the overtime. And again, I've been talking about how this is the United States' third gold medal in hockey. Well, World War III equals 141. So that's a bit concerning. But anyway, World War III, the United States wins their third gold medal with a goal that's scored at 141. I mean, that's pretty. I don't know. That's pretty crazy to me. That's the number that it happened. So again, let's see what golden goal equals, because that's what they're calling it. So yeah, golden goal equals 47. Like Trump's the 47th. Of course, we know government 47, White House 47. Let's see what else I have in my notes. Oh, you know what's also crazy? How I told you all about the 112s. Hold on. So remember how I told you, where's my 112s? You know how the two goal scorers were born 1 month, 1 week, and 2 days apart, and his name equals 112. Well, this guy, Matt Boldy, whose name equals 112, he was actually born, if you go from the Miracle on Ice in 1980 to the birth of Matt Boldy, It was actually a span of exactly 1,102 weeks. I mean, what are the odds? Because this is the number I just showed. So the guy was even born 1,102 weeks, like 112, after the original Miracle on Ice. And again, today was 112 days before Trump's birthday. All that kind of jazz, right? Let's see what else is in my notes. I'm just going to kind of go through my notes here, see if I have anything else. The guy who scored the game-winning goal's name is Jack. Jack. And it's just, I thought it was interesting that Jack equals 614. So the game-winning goal goes to a guy who's named Jack and equals 614, which is the current president of the United States' birthday. That's probably not a coincidence. Yeah, and Matt Boldy. Okay, so Matt Boldy, he's born on Satoshi Nakamoto's birthday. So if you guys don't think this is connected to cryptocurrency, okay, if you look up the birthday, the given birthday of the supposed Bitcoin creator, his birthday is April 5th, which, like Agent 911 is saying, Matt Boldy, it's connecting to the 4-5. Yeah, so they broke a 45-year drought like Donald Trump was the 45th. But yeah, but this is also the birthday of Satoshi Nakamoto. But now let's this is one last thing. Remember, I started this whole decode talking about how this is all connected to Ripple XRP, right? Because Ripple XRP is associated with the 589, today's 589 days after Trump was shot. But the game-winning goal went to Jack Hughes, who's born on Israel's birthday. But the day that Jack Hughes was born was the 134th day of the year. Okay? If you go to May 14th, 2001, it's the 134th day of the year. I showed you how Ripple XRP equals 134 in two ciphers, essentially. Okay? Now check this out. Now Ripple XRP equals 46. Like we're on the verge of 46 years. But check this out. So the game-winning goal scored by a guy born on 5/14. If you go from the creation of XRP's actual birth on June 2nd, 2012, to today, it's 5,014 days, guys. Are you coding me? Do you guys get what I'm showing you there? The guy who scores the goal today, his birthday is 5/14. He scores the game-winning goal. He's born the 134th day of the year, like Ripple XRP equals 134. But if you go from XRP's actual birth to today, it's 5/14, which is the birthday of the guy who scored the goal. Let me know in the chat if that's confusing. But that should prove to you that this is all about Ripple XRP and the new financial system. I showed you how Lago, the Secret Service, is connected to the currency. So, again, what are the odds that the guy who scores, again, this is a number I've talked about many times, this 134, okay? And just to go back to the 134 slide, it's been 1 year and 34 days since Trump took back his office. Plutocracy is the wealthy, right? Plutocracy equals 134. Make America Great Again, 134. Wealth equals 1034. The winner of the game, goal scorer, born on the 134th day of the year. So it makes me wonder, what do we have in store for this coming week with Israel? Because, again, this guy's born on the 53rd birthday of Israel. He's Jewish. I told you he's born 4 46 years and between the goal scorer of the Miracle on Ice and the goal scorer of this goal, 46 years and 200 days, which is the gematria of Judaism, which is the gematria of Jack Hughes, okay? First of all, Gigi, all of our money is not real. Our paper money is also printed out of thin air. No currency is real. All of it is mercurial, which is all tricksters. So just because cryptocurrency is not real doesn't mean that any of the other money is really real, because all of it is just given value based off of what we agree the value is, which paper money has real no value, because the only reason it has value is because they tell us that it has and we agree to that, but it really has no value. Gold actually does have value in a way, but I mean, real value is in food and land. That's real value. That's real currency. Supplies, food, land, that's real. And that's why we're ruled over, because the people that own all the supplies in the world, they own it all. So we're slaves to their material system. But anyway, Mercury, it's all mercurial, which is why the two goal scorers in today's game, if you go from Jack Hughes, or if you go from Matt Boldy, who scored the first goal, and if you go to Jack Hughes, it's 40 days, guys. Are you kidding me? There's 40 days between the two goal scorers. And in gematria, USA equals 40. United States equals 40. Mercury, again, the mercurial money system, Mercury equals 40. And I just talking to you about Ripple, right? Ripple XRP. Well, what's the odds? Ripple equals 40. So all those things equal 40. There's 40 days between the two goal scorers. So there's that connection as well. Back to my notes again. It's been 1,346 weeks since the Federal Reserve was founded. And that's interesting because that's 1, 3, 4, and 46 kind of. That's just a bit experimental. That's not important, but Mar-a-Lago was added to the NPR exactly 804 months after the Federal Reserve. Remember, the Federal Reserve was created on the same day as Mar-a-Lago was added. Okay. And this is the big one. And again, thanks to Derek for this. Otherwise, I would have missed this. Miracle on Ice was 305 days before Mar-a-Lago was added to the NRHP. And that was on the anniversary of the Federal Reserve, which connects all this together. Okay. Yeah, Canada's goal scorer has the same birthday as Ivanka Trump. Yeah, 250 days before her birthday, as the United States is turning 250 years old. Yeah. That's a good addition, Agent 911. 589 days from today, Dr. Savage says, is 10/4/27. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, the big one, guys, was the 589. And again, 589 days after Trump was supposedly clipped in the ear to the time of Mar-a-Lago, we got an intruder on Mar-a-Lago. So this is just kind of a number that I've talked about so much. And again, this one you can take with a grain of salt, but still, it's been almost 46 years since they won the last, but it's been 46 years since the Miracle on Ice. That's what it's been. And again, win equals 46. The new Pope's from Chicago. He's Catholic. Both equal 46. They won the game in overtime, which equals 46. Vatican City equals 46. So does Phoenix. That also equals 46. The two players that scored the first 2 goals of the game, they were born 888 days apart. Like, look at this. If you go Matt Boldy to Cal McCarr, I think the other guy who scored for Canada. And you notice how Trump was talking about making Canada the 51st state? But Cal McCarr, you notice he's born October 30th, 1998. So if you go from his, it's exactly 888 days. So the first 2 goal scorers, of the game today, born 888 days apart. I mean, what's the odds of that? Again, Donald J. Trump, 888. Mar-a-Lago, look at this. Mar-a-Lago, 888. Donald J. Trump, 888. And again, the day that Mar-a-Lago gets raided, you get the 2 goal scorers to start the game being born 888 days apart. Jesus in Greek gematria, isopsophy equals 888. Also, Canada finished, Agent 911 says Canada finished with a 5-1 record, and Trump has been talking about making Canada the 51st state. In fact, I talked a lot about the number 51 during the Super Bowl time. We could be talking about May 1st, like the Illuminati's founding date. Yeah, but there's definitely something up more with this guy as well. Cale Makar. I don't know. I guess you say Cale Makar. Notice he has the 144. He got the 99 as well. There was a lot of 99s. In fact, his name equals 99 and 523, which is the 99th prime number. And Matt Boldy, when he scored the goal today, the other goal scorer, he was 90 days old. Kind of like the number 99. And there's something about this 324 as well, because the Yale University just turned 324 years old, where Skull and Bones is located. So there's something going on with these 324s a lot lately, I noticed. In fact, Cale Makar was 24 years, 324 days old, kind of like 324 forward and backwards. But yeah, the 90-90 really stood out to me because, again, the other guy who scored, he equals 99 and 523, the 99th prime. The United States of America equals 99 and 144 and 1566. I've been talking about 1566. Oh, look at this. The United States of America, 250 in bacon. Wow. Okay. Guys, I didn't know that. So if you use the Old English cipher, the old Francis Bacon cipher, which I have proved, yeah, Eric Dane just died at 53 a few days ago, which connects to all the 53s we were talking about. Yeah, Win, I don't know why you're being so, I mean, if you don't think that this is all real, then just don't watch the videos. I mean, I don't know how you can think it's not real when, I mean, if gematria doesn't mean anything, it must just be a coincidence that the word witch and the word broom are somehow a perfect match. Maybe that's just a coincidence. And there's other ones I could show you too. Like Darth Vader. Darth Vader's known for his tool, which is a lightsaber, and Darth Vader equals lightsaber. Darth Vader equals lightsaber in every cipher of the 4 base ciphers. Witch equals broom in all the ciphers. So the person and their tool is a perfect match. Also, you got things like Christmas. Christmas comes from the German Weihnachten, and Weihnachten equals 110. So the word for Christmas in German, Weihnachten, equals 110, like Christmas, same cipher. So the German word, the English word, both mean Christmas, both equal 110. Also, check this out. Jesus and Lucifer connected to the morning star. Check this out. Morning star. Okay, see that? Now, if you type in the German word Morgenstern, which is the German word for morning star. Whoops, let me respell that. So check out how the word So what's the chance of this? The German word for morning star, which is Morgenstern, is a absolute perfect. I mean, look at that. You guys see that? And this is not the only word also. Again, Morgenstern means morning star in German. They both equal in the same cipher 148. They both equal 58. They both equal 149. They even equal in the standard and the Latin ciphers, which is improbable. Okay, normally when you get a big match, you get in the base 4 ciphers, but the fact that these words equal each other in the same cipher, guys, this is big. I could probably do a whole decode on how this connects. Remember, in the I think this is one of the biggest finds that you're going to see right here. This German Morgenstern and Morningstar. I believe there's something really big to this. And also notice how Morgenstern equals Donald J. Trump, right? In fact, if we take Donald J. Trump, let me just bring up a new page so you guys can just see this, like with all the other mess there. We're just going to take the base 4 ciphers plus the Latin, the Standard, and the Sumerian. I'm going to show you just how crazy it is. Again, Morgenstern, Morningstar in German, Morningstar, and Donald J. Trump. And you guys will see that there's certainly something to this. Again, this is not just taking a language, one language, and saying, oh, look at matches. This is taking 2 separate supposed languages, taking the same thing, the same word in both languages, and you're telling me that they are nearly a perfect match. And Trump, Donald J. Trump, equals Morningstar and Morgenstern. So I don't know. You guys tell me. I mean, this proves that there's coding through language, all right, and through just in general. There's another one. There's another word I just found the other day in German that equals the same in English. But I can't think of it now. But you know what's interesting about this 527? Let's just go to the Latin cipher. Hold on. In fact, guys, let's tie this 527 into what happened today. Look at this. So Morningstar and Morgenstern. Again, Morgenstern means Morningstar. But check this out. Skull and bones, if you use the ampersand, right? It equals 527. You see? Skull and Bones 527, Morning Star 527. This is in Latin. Very hard to get matches. But check out what also equals 527. Egypt equals 572, right? This is Derek from Gematria has shown a very important connection with these numbers, right? Skull and Bones 527, Egypt 572. Well, if you type in Skull and Bones with the and, without the ampersand, it's 572. Okay? So now we have some interesting things to think about here. What's up with these numbers? This 572, this 527. But Egypt, right? And today, this events today are exactly 527 days and 75 weeks and 2 days. So those are your two numbers. 572 and Skull and Bones, Egypt equals 572, Skull and Bones 572, Skull and Bones with the ampersand 527. Today is 527 days or 75 weeks and 2 days. Okay, you see that? 75 weeks and 2 days or 527, same numbers, before J.D. Vance's birthday, which is an eclipse in Egypt. Look at this. 2027 solar eclipse. The August 2nd, 2027 solar eclipse, also known as the eclipse of the century, is an upcoming solar eclipse that occurs at the moon's descending node on August 2nd, 2027. And it will be viewed over Luxor, Egypt. So I want you guys to, I hope this is mind-blowing to you guys like it is to me. Today's events, all these 222, this 222 day, all these events today happened 527 days before the eclipse over Egypt, which is actually also 75 weeks and 2 days, which again is the gematria of Egypt. Well, sorry, the 752 is also a Skull and Bones number as well, because if you type in Skull and Bones, I got it backwards, 572, right? Just these combination of numbers. And again, Egypt equals 572. So I don't know. There's something really big going on here with this eclipse. And I know you guys might be like, Cody, this is all the way in 2027. Why are you talking about this? Because guys, you're going to see me measuring to this eclipse as we get closer. So first of all, did you watch my decode from a few months ago when I literally bet $44 on a player to score a goal, number 17? Again, I have predicted things. Did you first of all, and if you watch Dr. Savage has also predicted things. He's saying all coding happens after the events. And first of all, I've seen Zach Hubbard predicted when Prince was going to die on the pretty much the exact day, I believe. Zach Hubbard has also predicted things. He predicted Queen Elizabeth would die in 2022. The Illusion has predicted Queen Elizabeth would die. I've seen Dr. Savage predict things. I've seen other decoders predict things. I can't even name them all. I've predicted things. Well, go back and watch my decode. I mean, the one thing that I can for sure remember recently that I got right was you got to go back and watch my decode on the hockey player. I guess I have luck with hockey. Um, I mean, but that's not the whole reason I do this, though, is to predict um things. I mean, I like to show. Let me just find this video. Where is it? Right here. This right here, it's called Improbable Matrix Code. Can't believe this happened. If you watch this video, you'll see that I bet money. And again, I don't bet very often. I bet one time and I found a most improbable code and it came out, it played true, and it was all connected to number 17. Anyway, you got to go back and watch the decode. It's right here. There's other things I haven't predicted anything recently that I can think of because I haven't been trying to predict anything, and I've seen Dr. Savage do it multiple times. So if you guys want to see him do it, he's done it multiple times. He did the thing with the ear and Trump and the speaker or the spica or whatever. I mean, I can't even remember everything that everyone's done. Yeah, and Migu, the other great decoder, who I think he's in the chat still, he's also predicted things. The Pope and decoding our reality. He also was pretty accurate with something going to happen, and the Pope died. Oh yeah, I just made a decode about the Spurs 9/11 connection, and they went to the Cup Finals versus the New York team. Yeah, guys, there's a lot of things that can be predicted, but that's not the point of this channel. Only is to predict things. I do my best, guys, to make the best connections I can make. Like that's all I can say. And if they, again, if I try to predict something, like right now, I'm saying King Charles is going to die. I haven't made a prediction on what date. I'm saying March 7th is a date to watch. I don't think he's going to die that day, really. But March 7th is a date to watch for King Charles and the royal family. And I have my reasons why I think that that's a date to watch. So, I mean, again, King Charles is definitely also Joe Biden. I mean, even though Joe Biden's probably he's probably a masked character anyways, but I mean, when are they going to write the scripted Joe Biden off the world stage as well, right? Yeah, Zach has predicted things. Every decoder I've watched has predicted something almost. So, and I've seen Sean Desad over at Widow's Son predict things with his own organic code, like pretty much talk about something and then a few days later it happens. So I've seen Sean do that multiple times. So shout out to him. And he's done that with organic codes. And I think it's actually important. If you guys want to predict things sometimes, I think it actually is important to look into your own personal organic code. Because when I predicted that goal score for that 17, it was actually connected to my organic code for me. And just so you guys know, I mean, this is something interesting. A few days ago, I talked about the number 1331, which is the eclipse code. And so right now, I just turned 1331 days old yesterday. Like 13031. So you guys raise your hand in the chat if you guys remember my decode from a few days ago about 1331. And I just realized yesterday after that decode that I just turned 13031 on the 313 day left in the year, kind of like the same digits, right? That means today on the United States winning, guys, look at this. I'm in this code here. Look, I'm coded to this. Today's 248 days after my birthday. The last time that the United States won, that they did the miracle on ice, it was 248 years after George Washington's birthday. Today is my 58th Venus year. Wow, guys. I just turned 58 Venusian years today. And the United States just won. And I'm from the United States, of course. I mean, I'm not saying that's the strongest code, but still. But what's interesting about my age today is notice how I'm 1332 days old. And if you guys know the connection with 1332, it's 666 plus 6 plus 66 plus 666. Like, let me just show you. Oh, sorry, it's 666 plus 666, right? So here I am today at 1332, and the United States wins gold medal, and that's how old I am. And that's, again, that's, I don't know what that means for me, but certainly interesting. On my mom's birthday in 2 days, it'll be 250 days after my birthday. And again, the United States is getting ready to turn 250 years old this year. So yeah, my mom's birthday is in 2 days. Happy birthday to my mom. And notice how I was talking about the 134 in this decode. I'm born on 134 date numerology. So that's one of my numbers. Anyway, that's just a short part of my, everyone has an organic code and everything ties in together, guys. It's not just the world stage that's coded, trust me. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. I knew this would go longer than I wanted it to. But I got distracted by some people in the chat. Again, people are saying I'm stealing decodes. I'm not stealing anyone's decodes, guys. I barely have enough time to sit down and do my own decodes, let alone go on everyone else's channel and try to steal theirs. I think everyone knows that I try to put together my own decodes. Dr. Savage says, my dad turned 66 on 2/28. He was born in 1960, and there's a 6-planet planetary parade that day. Oh, let me mention, hey, Dr. Savage, have you seen what's going on 2/28? Guys, you got to see this. Look at this. Not only is there a planetary parade, on that day, 2/28 is 6/11 on the Hebrew calendar, and it's 9/11 on the Islamic calendar. Let that sink in for a second. 2/28 is 9/11 on the Islamic calendar and 6/11 on the Hebrew calendar. Like the upside down 9/11, I think that's pretty crazy. So if we see some sort of event on February 28th, you can bet it's going to be connected to this. I mean, this is the Hebrew calendar, guys, 6/11, right? And the Islamic calendar, 9/11. So if there's a day for something, I think it's that day. I don't know. And Dr. Savage just said he had an organic connection with his father to that day. So, I mean, when we have organic connections, it usually comes out to be even more significant. So anyway, just watch 2/28 if something goes down that day with Islam. I mean, what if there's a fight between the Islamic nation and a Hebrew nation? You know, like, because again, it's 9/11 on Islam and 6/11 on Hebrew. I'll have to look more into that date and see if there's anything else that comes up. Dr. Savage says his dad's name and my name equal 2/28. Yeah, and all I can think of is the word death equals 228, I think. Death equals 228. Anyway, let me just sign off here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like button on the way out. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. We'll see what happens over the next few days. And whatever I see, as usual, I'll come back and report. So thank you guys so much. Have a blessed day. God bless. I'll see you guys in the next decode. Take care.